Hey guys, Jan here, codingwithjan.com. So today we're having a special guest on the channel. He's the founder of a very successful Shopify app. And I asked him a bunch of important questions around marketing, launching apps in 2024 and beyond, also his day-to-day work, and some technical questions. And I figured you might find this helpful as well. So let's have a look together and dive right in. All right, Matt, the last time we did an interview was 1.5 years ago. And I think around that time, your company was making around 30,000 in monthly recurring revenue. So where's the company at today?
So today we are making $55,000 per month.
That's awesome. And team size, is that like, how many employees do you currently have? How many installs is that?
So I don't remember last time how many we were, but like today we are 6 or 7 people. We are 7 people, but not everyone is full-time.
Okay, got it. And yeah, that pretty much means you almost doubled the company in less than 2 years. That's pretty dope. And yeah, maybe also for those who don't know you yet, Matt is the founder of several Shopify apps. And I think the most successful one is White Bundle. Is that like 80-90% of your company, or how much are we talking?
It's probably 95%. Actually,
Okay.
we have 2 apps, White Bundle and White Review.
Yeah.
And the problem is that we are focused only on White Bundle because it's so much work that we decided to focus on the first one. And so we let the other one on the side. And so we're not doing any marketing and stuff on that.
Okay, got it. Okay, so White Bundle is the most successful one for sure then. And yeah, this is going to be super interesting for me as well, because right now I'm building a small app myself. And last time we talked a lot about your founding story, how to come up with ideas, etc. And instead of just repeating the questions from last time, I want to ask more about marketing, your day-to-day work and everything. And then I have huge conviction that that will be interesting for others as well. Is that cool with you?
Yeah, perfect.
Okay, awesome. Then yeah, let's get started with the most important questions of all. It's 2024 and the App Store is already quite saturated. Is it too late, or is it still possible to launch a successful app? What do you think?
So I get this question probably every week.
Yeah.
It's probably more complicated to start than it was in 2017 or like in 2020.
Mhm.
But I still think that we are early in the process, in the ecosystem,
Okay.
just because we have probably 10,000 Shopify apps at the moment, but we have way more Shopify stores. And the number of Shopify stores is growing faster than the number of Shopify apps.
Mhm.
Because Shopify main thing is about building stores, right? So they are doing everything to get more merchants, but they're not doing everything to get more Shopify apps. Also, Shopify is evolving really fast. They are adding more features. They are adding more things to Shopify. And so it means we can build Shopify apps that we couldn't build 2 years ago, for example. And so when Shopify releases something, and when you have more Shopify stores, you can basically start at the same point as everyone. You can build a new app that didn't exist before. You can target these new merchants. And so I still think that we are early in the process because of all that. And it's even better because Shopify wants to push new apps. They are doing everything on the Shopify App Store to push new apps that are trendy to the top. And it's also harder for a big app when Shopify releases something to release these things on their app because they already have Shopify merchants to serve. They already have features. They already have a lot of work. So they are not flexible. And this is something that new apps can do that others can't. And so that's why we see some apps released last year that are starting to be to be at the top of the Shopify store, of the Shopify App Store, just because Shopify is pushing them, right? They have new features, they have new stuff. So I think it's still a great opportunity for these people.
Okay, that's good news, because that's also kind of similar to my niche. And yeah, then I think the most important, or what I would like to transition to very quickly, is the marketing side of things. Because as you know yourself, a lot of developers have a tendency to fall too much in love with the technical side of things. But yeah, before building a new product, I think it's always a good idea to think about like where will customers be coming from and how can you find users for the app. So I know you do a bunch of things, but can you list all the activities you do in order to get new customers, like social media marketing, like just the list of all the things you do right now?
So things I'm doing right now, but it's probably different than what you should do if you're just starting a Shopify app. Because the things I'm doing right now, I'm doing them because I already have something that works, I already have users and stuff like this.
Yeah.
I would say the first thing is constantly talking to your users. This is useful to understand what they need, what problems they have, where you should go, and stuff like this. It will basically just create the roadmap and tell you where you should go.
Mhm.
Usually, for example, if you talk to your people and you notice that many of them want a specific feature and you start building this feature, then maybe more people will find your app on the Shopify App Store thanks to this feature and they will start using it. Not because you tried to get them, just because you had this feature. So that's the first point. The
Okay.
second one is that we try today to be everywhere. It means that we are recording videos that we are posting on TikTok, that we're posting on Instagram Reels, YouTube Shorts. We are doing long format videos as well, like how to create bundles using our app. This is a video that got us something like 2,000 views on YouTube.
Awesome.
It's not that much. You can think it's not that much, but if you have 100 people that discover your app through this video, then it's amazing, right?
Yeah.
Especially if you have a new Shopify app. We are doing influencers. So what I mean by that is that we will connect people that have communities around Shopify e-commerce, and we will try to create a partnership with them where they will promote our app. They will probably record a video, make a post about it, and we'll either pay them upfront fee, or we will have some kind of affiliate link where they can track how many installs they have, and then we'll give them a commission based on that. Same thing, our partnerships. So it's similar to doing influencers, except the influencers here are other Shopify apps. What is great about the ecosystem is that Shopify merchants will use multiple apps at the same time.
Yeah.
So if you have a merchant using an app, they can also be your own users. So you can do a partnership where this app will put your app in front of their user, you do the same, and so you can share some users that way. And the
Nice.
more apps you have as partnerships, the better, because users will see your app everywhere and they will start to trust your app. And sometimes it's something not direct, but like, for example, they will see your app everywhere. And the moment they will need an app similar to use, they will go to the App Store and they will install your app just because they feel like they already know this app, because they saw this app everywhere.
Mhm.
So this is something else we're doing. We are trying to improve word of mouth. So the way we are doing is that we have a community, we try to talk to people, and we try to talk to them as if we were partners. It means that we are always trying to improve their business. And so when you create this kind of relationship with your users, the thing is, it's not just an app. They feel like they're part of something,
Yeah.
and they will easily share this app with friends, partners, and stuff like this. So word of mouth today is our main acquisition channel, just because we try to do everything with that, try to work with the communities and stuff like this. We are obviously trying to improve the Shopify App Store. So there are many things that maybe we'll see later to improve your ranking, to target more keywords, and to attract more traffic from that.
Mhm.
So these are some stuff we are doing. I don't know, we probably have more things, sometimes more specific things. For example, one quick hack could be contacting every blog post, talking about the kind of apps you have. For example, top 10 bundle apps, and you contact them and you say, hey, can you add my app to your ranking? And maybe they will, maybe they won't. But if they do, and they have some traffic to this blog post, then you can have some traffic as well to your app, and you can get installs that way. So yeah, there are many things that we're doing. But if you're just starting, I would say the first thing is to do things that don't scale. Um, it means that, today we are, for example, recording videos, right? It's something that scales because you can have more subscribers, you can have more views, and you can have more people. But in the beginning, it's probably not the best way. It could be if it's your strategy, like just do videos, it's fine. But I would say try to get people one by one. There is one quick thing I tell people that sometimes they don't want to do, is simply go to LinkedIn every day, try to connect with 10 merchants,
Mhm.
different brands. You can find them by, first you find one person, Then you start to follow the people that comment on the post of that person, and you try to engage in conversations. Like, what do you do? Do you have problems with this thing and stuff like this? And you just try to talk to as many people as possible. I told this to someone one day, and it was like, okay, he didn't know how to find Shopify merchants. It was like new app, didn't know what to do, and I just told this person like, what did you do? Did you do this? Did you contact every single person? Did you try to get conversation and stuff? And I asked him like, how many people did you talk to in the last month? And it was something like 2 people. And I was like, how do you expect to get people if you're not doing the things that get people? So I said, just contact 10 people a day and try to have conversations. And after some time, he started to get users just because it's simple. If you contact 10 people a day, you
Yeah.
have like 300 people a month. Some of them will be users, not everyone, but some of them. And then it's something that will, it's like the compounding effect. At the moment, like the first month, maybe it will be 5 people, but then the next one it will be 10, and then like this, and you will start to scale. And this is what I did in the beginning. This is not something like not using LinkedIn. I was using Facebook groups, but it was almost the same thing. And so yeah, this is all the things that you can do to get users.
Okay, yeah, that sounds awesome. You mentioned so many things, and we definitely have to go into some of these a bit more.
Yes.
Yeah, just to recap some of the things you mentioned, like App Store, SEO, social media marketing on all platforms, pretty much, partnerships, community, um, and yeah, that also brings me to one thing that you forgot is events. You're also doing events right now, right?
Yes.
In-person
Yes.
events in Paris. Yeah, last time you rented the how's it called? It's like I don't have the confidence to pronounce it correctly in French,
Le Grand
but like the
Rex.
super big, yeah, Grand Rex,
Yes.
the super big cinema. That was a big success, and you also have an upcoming event next month. I'll be joining as well. That's going to be a different location, though, right?
Yeah, different location. This time it's Le Salon des Miroirs, which
Mhm.
is also an amazing place, and it's close to the first place.
Okay, awesome. Yeah, and yeah, as I mentioned, I'll be there. Matt will be there. I think we can also put links in the description if anyone wants to join. Tickets are still available.
Yes, we still have some tickets. Uh, More than half already went and now purchased, but we still have tickets. And I think when this video will go out, we still have tickets.
Okay, awesome. Yeah, sounds great. And yeah, okay, so we see, okay, so you do a bunch of things to basically promote your apps, this omnipresence that you mentioned, like being everywhere, people recognizing you, trusting you, getting to know the brand. I think that's awesome. And I would also love to tell you my marketing plan in 1 second. Maybe you can give me like a small sanity
Sure.
check here or tell me if you think that's good. But before that, yeah, my next question would have been what would be the number one activity if you were starting from scratch to get like the first 100 users? Would it be the outreach method on LinkedIn that you mentioned, or would it be something different?
I think it would be in the beginning, it would be starting with LinkedIn. This
Yeah,
is probably what I would do, but not to find users, even if I can, but just to find ideas. First of all, like
got it.
what should I build? I want to build something that people actually need, so that's I will get a lot of installs and stuff like this. So like, I will probably start with French brands, just so that I can target them more easily on LinkedIn, and I will
Yeah.
try to contact as many of them. So brands, agencies, and stuff like this. I will try to understand like, what do you use today that you're not satisfied with?
Mhm.
What would you like to have? What would you like to change and stuff like this? And the goal is just to find, all right, I have my idea. I know what people need. I know what I can build, and then I will just contact them to get the first few users. These first few users, the goal is just to get the first reviews on the Shopify App Store,
Got
and to get this initial traction, to start ranking on the Shopify App Store. Because there is something like on the Shopify App Store where, it's kind of easy to jump in the first positions of an app store and stuff like this as
Yeah.
soon as you have initial traction. So this is something that I usually say is that if you can quickly get 10 reviews on your Shopify app, then you will jump like crazy on the Shopify App Store for many keywords and stuff like this, and you will start to snowball. It means that it's all
Got
it takes 10 people to leave a review. Um, so if you can get 10 people manually contacting them and then get all of them to publish a review, then you're good to go. And what I would do then is that using this initial traction, I will probably use a strategy where I will put my app for free on the Shopify App Store, so that I will get more people. I will ask for reviews. So all my strategy would be to get reviews. It means that for every install, I will contact them. I will ask them what they need. I will help them. So doing things that don't scale, and then I will ask for this review. And once I reach page one, for my main keywords and stuff like this, then this is when I will put probably like a monthly fee or something for the app to start getting money, because this is the goal, and I will start from there.
Okay, awesome. Yeah. Okay, so I'll tell you my marketing plan, and then you can give me your
Sure.
opinion if that's feasible. So yeah, what we're doing right now is the app is not even fully built out, but the main priority I have is getting the first case studies and test clients. We already have some queued up, and the app is only going to be for Shopify Plus merchants. So it's a bit more exclusive in that sense. And then, yeah, once we're at a point where I feel the app can go live or be public, I want to contact all developers in my network because I know a lot of people who are also working with Shopify Plus brands. And I want to create this partnership ecosystem where I also give them, yeah, let's say a big percentage of, let's say, the first 6 or 12 months revenue. From there, I also really or the thing is, I don't just want to rely on inbound methods like people contacting us or finding us on the App Store. Of course, that's important, but I don't just want to rely on that. So I want to mix it up with some outbound activities as well, contacting people on LinkedIn. I will, yeah, still create content like organic content, even if it's not specifically about the app, but just so people can get to know me personally, like get to know, get a feeling for my personality if they want to trust me and so forth. And then paid ads is something I'm super interested in because we've been doing that a lot with our bootcamp. I think back in 2021, we spent like 500,000 on Google Ads. And then in 2022, we did the same. Today, a bit less because we got more referrals and so forth. But are you running any paid ads at all for your apps?
No, I'm not. This isn't something that I like. And to be honest, my app is quite cheap. So like to be profitable on ads, it's a bit complicated, especially for example, if you're looking for the Shopify App Store ads.
Hmm.
But this is something great. For example, if you are targeting plus merchants, usually because your app is more expensive, so it's easier to be profitable.
Yeah.
And yeah, this is exactly this. It means that when you're targeting plus merchants and when you're targeting like SMBs, for example, the strategy is different. You can rely only on outbound, for example, and like doing only things that don't scale with plus merchants, just because when you get one, you get a lot of money, but you can't really do it if you have a cheap app, because like it doesn't make sense to do it that way. Also, working with the Shopify App Store when you're targeting plus merchants is probably not the best strategy. It could be, but it's not the best strategy for the same reasons. It means that you don't have enough people to target on the App Store, because plus merchants usually will work, for example, with agencies.
Yeah.
You mentioned developers and stuff like this. So this is a good way. And this is also something that Gil is doing with LinkedIn agencies and stuff like this. So it's actually a great strategy that you said. Different than if you were targeting SMBs. It's a great one. And also something that is really important, and I think you did it right, is using what you already have and what you already know. For example, if you are used to running ads because you run ads for many agencies and stuff like this, then using ads is great because you already know it. You have advantages over people because you know something that other people don't know. So you can use it. Other thing is the people you already know. I did the same thing, and this is what I tried in the beginning. Um, you are targeting, developers, you have a community, so you can use this to start getting users. You use what you already have and what you already know. And this is something I usually tell people, it's to start with your unfair advantages. One quick unfair advantage you can use is targeting your local country.
Hmm.
If you are, for example, I'm in France, I will start with French merchants just because it's easier for me to target them. I know what they need, I know the language, and it will be also easier for them to talk to me. So it will be easier to get them as customers. And this is something that everyone should do. What do you know? What do you have? What can you use based on that to start getting your first your first users. And it could be like specific knowledge. You know, I know something about the specific targets. I know some people, for example, you know, when I started White Bundle, I was already in a few French communities, and I know some influencers. I already know some influencers because I was building this relationship for like, I think it was 2 or 3 years, because I started in 2017, but actually built White Bundle in 2020. That's
Hmm.
3 years
Yeah.
where I did many things. So when I released the app and I started my influencer strategy, I knew who I had to contact because I already know that person. It wasn't complicated to get like a partnership with them because they already know me because we did already things and stuff like this. And so that's your unfair advantages. It's what do you have today that you can use that other people don't?
Okay, I love that. Yeah, that sounds good. So then, okay, getting the first users is clarified. I'm ready to go. And then let's transition to your day-to-day work because that would also be super interesting. You mentioned you have a team of 6 people right now. Was that correct?
Yes, correct.
Okay, cool. And yeah, can you also explain a bit like what kind of roles does the team have? Like how many developers, how many work in support? Like what are
Sure.
even, yeah, what kind of people are even working in your company?
So we have two developers. We
Hmm.
have one customer support, like one technical support expert, two customer support agents, and one person on marketing. And I think we already 6 people, maybe five.
I
I
didn't
don't
count,
remember.
but
I
yeah.
didn't count, but
And
yeah,
you,
that's
yeah.
and me. And so usually when you will start, the first people you will hire is customer support,
Hmm.
just because it's the main point. It's when you start growing and scaling, it's the first problem you'll face. Like, I'm constantly on customer support. I can't do anything else. So you will hire these people first.
Yeah.
So I started with one customer support agent in the beginning. Obviously, I didn't start with two. And the
Hmm.
goal is just you will show that person what you are doing. Like, how do you reply to them, to customer? What are the different questions they have? What are the common problems? And usually, as you show that person on the day-to-day work, they just follow you. You will just start building your knowledge base. Like every question problem you have, you start documenting it on Notion, for example, or somewhere else, and you start writing everything so that they can do the job just by following how you did it.
Hmm.
Then we hired developers. So that was the next part. I wanted to go faster, and I couldn't be on the coding like every time. So I started to hire developers, and I did the same thing. Here is how I coded my app, created documentation with videos and stuff. Um, and then it's just about, okay, let's do the job. You will follow me how I do it, and then I will show you, and you can do it as well. And then as you scale, you can go with marketing. It depends basically because
Yeah.
marketing can be your job. It's depends on your app, how much money you're making and stuff like this. And you can, for example, if you have more customer support tickets, you can add one more customer support agents. Or if you need more work on the features, for example, you can add one developer, and then you can like manage all these people. Um, what I did usually is that, for example, for the second customer support agents, I just put the first one as the manager. Like, it's not always the right solution, but at least you can use that first person to train the second one.
Yeah.
This is something that I did so that I didn't have to do it myself. Some things, sometimes I was doing it, but most of the training was done by the first person. And then it's just about managing them. Like, once they know your processes, you just write all the processes, they know how to run that job, and then you just follow them in the first weeks, and then it's easy, and they will do it themselves. And so the day-to-day job is just usually we have calls with everyone from the team, different calls on Monday, so that we can review the previous weeks. For
Hmm.
example, with customer support agents, it will be like how many customer tickets did we have? What was the reply time? What were the questions, the problem, the feedback, and all the stuff? Just basically a review. And then let's prepare this coming week. For example, hey, this is what we expect this week as customer support agents and stuff like this. We do the same with marketing. So the person on marketing will work by contacting influencers, doing the partnerships, blog content, and stuff like this. And it's the same thing. What was done last week, what will be done this week. And then we have the same with developers. show me the work from last week. Usually we work with sprints, like weekly sprints.
Mhm.
What was done last week. And okay, fine. Now this week, this is what we will do. And then I will just, just follow them over the weeks to see if everything is going well. And then I will do my job, which is running the company, running them, and sometimes helping them or doing something where we need. For example, sometimes I will be involved in coding because I know how to code. Sometimes it will be on marketing because we need more help or we need to focus on this. Sometimes it will be on customer support as well. It's important to do everything, I think. And for example, like this week, for example, I was working a lot on the wide events. So, contacting everyone like sponsors and preparing and stuff like this. Um, so I was working on this. I was working also on research and development. So usually I will do that job. It means that I will think about the vision and where we're going, and then I will have the people actually doing the job. So for example, recently Shopify announced that they were removing REST API for product and variants
Yeah.
on Shopify because it's going to be replaced by GraphQL, and we are using REST. And so I'm not putting the developers. I told my developers, hey, have a look on this, but your job is to focus on the day-to-day work. It means building features and stuff like this. I will check myself what needs to be done. And then once I know, I will let you know, okay, this is what we have to do. And this is usually how I work. It's like thinking about the vision and the bigger picture, and then I have the people to manage the work. And you don't need to start with all of that, obviously.
Yeah.
In the beginning, I started with just one customer support agent. Then it was one developer, then one marketing, then one more customer support agent. And then it's only the end that we added one technical support because in the beginning it was either me or developers, but when it started to be like when we started to have way more technical problems, this is when we added someone. And usually I'm more like hire someone when you need someone, not when you just want to scale and stuff like this.
Right. Yeah.
So it's like when we start to get the need, like, hey, it's going to be complicated now and stuff, we start to hire people. And then it's just about that, like vision, managing people, and just telling them where you're going and what you need to do.
Okay. Yeah, I think you nailed it. And also very healthy approach to grow as you need people,
Yes.
basically. Okay, so quick recap: support, developers, marketing, pretty much also in that order or depending on when you need them.
Yes,
Um,
exactly.
would have been my next question. What was the first role you hired? I think you answered that in full.
Yeah.
Okay, next question. Is your team fully remote or in person?
Fully remote.
Okay, but you also do these vacation or workation kind of styles. I think I saw one image in front of the
Yes.
pool last year somewhere. It's just vaguely my
Yeah,
memory.
we try
Yeah.
at least once a year to like we will book an house somewhere in the country, and everyone will travel and we'll work together. It's like work and at the same time like small vacation where we can meet each other and spend good time and stuff like this. And it's great. It's great.
Super cool. Yeah. Okay, and then speaking of support, you mentioned there was also the first role. You hired a technical specialist as well. May I ask how many tickets you get per day or per week? Is that something you want to share?
Yeah, I think we have 30 tickets a day at the moment.
30 tickets a day. Okay. And yeah, this would also be my next question or a follow-up question. Now we're getting a bit more technical, and then I will let you go. I won't take too much of your time today. But from the technical point of view, you also mentioned, for example, Shopify deprecating some API, or maybe there are changes. And recently you also posted about build for Shopify. So my question would be, how do you plan new updates? Because with so many users, if let's say something breaks, then you get a bunch of support tickets, right? So how do you plan that even?
That's a good question. So first of all, we have we plan the year. That's the first point. It means that at the end of each year, we will review the current year, the objectives, everything we did, and then we'll prepare the next week. So the next week, the next year. So we start with the goal. So for example, how much money do we want to make? Then it's like, all right, we want to reach that thing. I think we can do it. What do we need to do in order to get it? So usually we will break this down with different sub goals. For example, we need to get that many more paying users per month. We need to build this thing because we know that people need it and we'll track them in. And so we have these sub goals. And then for all these sub goals, we have all the tasks and the steps that we need to make in order to reach them. And usually this will be like monthly goals and stuff like this. And then once we have all these goals, we know over the year what we have to work on. And so we can say, all right, so for this month, this is what we will have to work on.
Yeah.
And obviously, we will break this down um, into multiple weekly tasks with all the things that we need to do. So we have the bigger picture with, and we know where we're going. So it means that we just trust the process. We know that based on the schedule and stuff, we'll be working on this, we'll finish this and stuff. And then there are all the things that we don't expect. And usually we save time for this. So for example, Shopify just released and said that they are deprecating REST API. So we are changing to GraphQL. And so based on the urgency, we will say, all right, when do we have to work on it? We know that it starts to be in June, for example, and it will be for everyone in 2025. So we're like, all right, so we need to finish it to June. So this is how, so you were working on this thing. All right, you will change. You will go back to this, you will go to this thing because it's more urgent, and you will take back this. And usually this is how we try to work with the thing. So usually we have time to work on all these updates that we didn't expect. And then it's just based on urgency what we have to work on, and everyone knows on a monthly basis what they have to work on, no matter what.
Okay, yeah. And the updates, are you rolling them out all at once to all users, or is that something you do gradually or
It
first
depends
test
on
them?
the updates.
Okay.
If it's a big one, sometimes when we have like a big one where we change a lot of things in the code, then usually we will have only a few people changing on that. But it's really for big updates. Otherwise, what we do is that we have all the testing that we need, and we'll test everything so that we can push it. But usually we don't release some big updates at once. It's always some small parts and stuff like this, or small features and things like this, so that we can make all the tests we need, and we don't have some big changes that we release. And so we have
Okay.
one staging environment where we make all the tests, and we have like the production where it will be for everyone. And sometimes for production, it's, as I said, split. Like for example, the first 10% users, then 20, then stuff like this.
Ah, okay, nice. Yeah, it's awesome that you do that gradually, or that
Yes.
you can even do that. That is awesome. Okay, and then I think this is going to be my last question. Let's say you accidentally release something and there are going to be errors in the app, or like something doesn't work anymore. Do you have ways to like track that, or do you just wait for the first support tickets and then gonna fix it?
So yeah, first of all, before releasing something, we make all the tests we need.
Yeah.
Then what we do is that when we release it, we make all the tests on the user stores. So we will track everything, go, is everything working well? And then usually, if there is a problem, we will know it pretty fast because people are very aware of their store, what's happening and stuff. So they will contact us. And then based on the issue, if, for example, if it's something that even with all the tests, we didn't notice and it's some big bug and everyone has it, then usually we will roll back and we'll apologize and we'll say that there is an issue, something we have to fix. If it's a small one, only for a few users and stuff, then usually we'll try to fix it like as soon as possible, directly on production, if it's a small one. If it's a big one, then like if it's a small issue, but we need some tests, then we'll fix the issue on staging and push it again on production.
Okay, got it. Yeah, makes sense. And yeah, I think these were all of my questions for today. So we went over marketing a little bit, day-to-day work, also some
Yes.
technical questions. And Matt, big shout out to you. Thank you so much for taking the time. I think this is invaluable, like hearing from someone with experience. Anything else you would like to mention, or anything you would like to promote? Your Twitter account is pretty big, right? LinkedIn recently, YouTube channel, the event. Yeah, the stage is yours.
Yeah. So first, thank you for having me. It's great. I don't remember when was the last time. But yeah, that was cool. And yeah, you can follow me on Twitter if you want to. This is where I share most of my work and everything on Twitter. I have LinkedIn as well. So I don't know if you put the links, but like I have LinkedIn and YouTube. YouTube, and I'm starting YouTube. I'm trying to make some
I
videos.
saw the videos, they were good.
We'll
Better
see.
than
We'll
my
see.
first. Yeah.
We'll try to make more because this is really something that I want to do. And yeah, obviously in a month, so on May 27, we are hosting the Wide event in Paris. So it's an English event for all Shopify partners. So we'll have Shopify agencies, we'll have developers, we'll have merchants, we'll have many different people. So if you're developers, for example, and you want to build a Shopify app, it's a great way to get partnerships, to get partners with other app developers, but also with Shopify agencies and to get users with merchants. So it's a good way to get some of them. And so yeah, if you want to join, I think you will put the link and we still have tickets at the moment.
100%. Yeah. Also highly recommended. I'll be there. I'll also bring two friends, one of my business partners, and then actually two of my business partners. Yeah, but we would just come for like to hang out, have fun,
Yeah.
network a bit. So yeah, I think that would be awesome. And yeah, again, Matt, thanks so much for your time. Appreciate it. And already looking forward to the next interview.
Yeah, thank you.